Evening YouTube. Now I've just got home because I've been away this weekend. Me and the missus have spent Saturday night and Sunday night away in a hotel, and James has been here looking after the cat. So I've just got back today and James is still here because he has wagged work today and he has been out shopping and he has very kindly offered to cook dinner for us tonight. So I don't know what that is going to be like because James is not the world's greatest cook, so I just hope he comes up with something tasty. So while I was away, I have found these set of speakers that you can see on the table. I did buy an amplifier as well, but I'll show you that in another video. So as my missus says, you can't take me anywhere because I will always find something hi-fi. And that's what I did while we was away. So I found these speakers on Saturday, and then on Sunday I found a little amplifier that I bought as well. So I got two things this weekend while I was away. So on Saturday we drove to the hotel, booked in, and then went to a little pub for a bit of lunch and a pint. And then where we was, there was like a little second-hand shop and there was a few antique shops. So we started having a little nose about in the shops, and then I've gone in one antique shop and right at the back of the shop I have spotted these speakers. And now you could only really see the tops of them because there was all stuff put in front of them, so you could tell as well that they had been in that shop a long time because they had been buried right at the back of the shop. So I couldn't really see what they was. I could see they was a pair of omnidirectional, but I had no idea what they was. So I said to the lady in the shop, I said, "Excuse me," I said, "can you tell me what them speakers are at the back there?" She went, "all I know is I think they are German." I went, "all right." I said, "how much are they?" She went, "oh, they probably have got a price on them somewhere. I can't remember offhand." She went, "did you want to have a look at them?" I went, "yes, please." So that was it. The lady come over and we moved a load of stuff out of the way so I could get to them. So I've picked one up looking for a maker's mark. Because she said they was German, I thought they might have been Braun or something like that. But then I've seen the maker's mark on them and they are made by LUXOR. So they are not from Germany, these are Swedish. And as I'm looking at them closer, I'm thinking how good quality they look, and they did feel really heavy, so I'm thinking, right, these are nice, these speakers, I want these. So I'm looking round them for a price tag, and I couldn't find any price on them, but as I'm looking round them, I have noticed that the surrounds on the speakers do look perished, so they will need replacing. But still I'm thinking, oh, if these are a decent price, I'm having these. So I went to the woman, "I can't see a price on these, and I am interested in them, but can I just show you something first?" So she come over and I said, "look, if you look through that grill there on the top, see where that outer side bit of the speaker is all cracked and perished. I said that should be nice and sealed, not to let any air through. So all them need replacing, and that will be the same on all the speakers on these. And as there is 5 speakers in each of them, that means you've got to buy 10 of them surrounds, which really won't be cheap, that will be expensive. And then you've got to put a lot of time into these, doing it, to get them back working." So she went, "so what you're saying is these speakers are knackered, really?" I went, "no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they will need a lot of money and a lot of time put into them to get them working again. But I do like them, so what's your best price?" And then she said a price that was lower than the price I had in my head, so I just bought them. So as you can see there, they are LUXOR. I think that is Brilljant or Brilljant. I'm not sure how you say that, but they are an omnidirectional set of speakers and they are made in Sweden. Now I have had some stuff before made by LUXOR. I've had a few sets of speakers. I had a couple of sets that really wasn't that good, but I did have one set of speakers made by LUXOR that was really good speakers and they sounded really nice. I've also had an amplifier made by LUXOR, but it was only a little cheap one in a wooden cabinet. It looked nice, but it really didn't sound very good. So I don't know where these speakers are going to fit into the LUXOR range, because LUXOR did make some high-end good quality stuff, and also I think they made some stuff that isn't that good. So hopefully these speakers will be the high-end LUXOR stuff. So as you can see there, that driver is about 7 inches across. So they got a nice big driver firing out the top of these. And then they got these little, they look sort of like a 2-inch little speaker. So as these are omnidirectional, you got 4 of them, one on every corner. So they fire out sound in all directions, these speakers. So they can be a bit hard to find a good spot for in your room. But if you find a good position for them, they can really sound good, these omnidirectional speakers. So you can see there, they are about 17.5 inches tall. So I'll do the width of them. So there, look, they're just under 11 inches wide, or about 28 centimetres. And they are square, so they are the same that way as this way. Look, 11 again, 28, and the same that way. So they are square, these speakers, with that nice big driver firing out the top. So I'm looking forward to getting these going, these speakers. They could really have a good sound to them. Because like I said, I've had a few sets of these omnidirectionals before. I had a set of Sonab ones that sounded really good. I've also had some made by Bose that was good. I have had some made by some other people. I can't really remember the names, but I've had some that no matter where you put them, they didn't sound very good. But the Sonab ones I've had and the Bose ones I've had, if you find the right spot for them, they really used to kick out a decent sound. So I'm just turning these round to show you them on all the sides, because the wooden cabinets on these speakers are really nice and they are in really good condition for how old they are. Now I do think these speakers must be from the 60s or the 70s. So they have got a bit of age to them, and these cabinets are really in nice condition, and the grills, there is no dents or anything in them grills, so these speakers are really nice for their age. And I did have a little look up on my phone the other night trying to find out stuff about this. I was sitting in the hotel having a little Google up about them, and I really couldn't find anything out about these speakers. I found one set for sale in America and they was really expensive. And then the only other things I found was people on forums and that who own a set of these, and they was basically asking for information about them because they couldn't find nothing out about them. Now I did only spend about 10 minutes looking on my phone, so I haven't done a proper search on the PC all about them. I shall do that later today or tomorrow and see what I can find out about these LUXOR speakers. But where I really couldn't find nothing out, I know I only looked on my phone for like 10 minutes, but there was so little information about these speakers that it did make me think that these speakers must be pretty rare. There cannot be a load of these out there, else I would have found information about them more easily. So I do think these speakers could be a rare old set of speakers. Now, being rare, that does not mean that they are going to be really good, because being rare does not mean good. But there is the chance that these speakers could be good, because like I said, some of the stuff made by Luxor was pretty high-end stuff with a decent sound. And the way these cabinets are nice and heavy and they are really well built, I do think these could have decent speakers in them, so these could be a really good sounding set of omnidirectional speakers. So I'm looking forward to getting these ones up and running, because it has been a few years since I've had any omnidirectional speakers. Like I said, I think the best ones I've ever had was made by Sonab. They was really good. I had some Bose ones that was good, and I've had some others that really wasn't that good. And I did have a massive set made by HIFI once, and they wasn't like these where they fired out the top. They was like a hexagonal shape, and they had a speaker on every side. So I think they had 6 speakers going round them, and they fired in every direction out the sides. But them Akai ones, they looked the part and they looked really impressive, but they didn't sound very good. So hopefully these old Luxor speakers, if I get all new surrounds and that put in them, hopefully these things will sound a lot better than them old Akai ones did. And with a bit of luck, these might sound as good as the Sonab ones I had did, because I do think the Sonab ones were the best set of omnidirectional speakers that I have ever had. They just looked like a big square wooden box with a grill on the top. And when you took the grill off, they had a big driver in them, and they had like little tweeters on brackets pointing in every direction. And them Sonab ones sounded really good. And the other thing about them Sonab ones, they wasn't that fussy where you put them. You seemed to be able to put them anywhere and you could get a good sound out of them. Whereas a lot of these omnidirectional speakers, they are really hard to find a place in your room where they sound good. So if you do ever buy yourself a set of omnidirectional speakers, be prepared for a day where you're in your room and you're probably moving them around about 100 times just to find that sweet spot with them. But when you do find that sweet spot, they really can be a good sounding set of speakers, these omnidirectional ones. Well, as long as they are a good set of them, because like I said, some of them, no matter where you put them, they don't sound very good. But if you have got a set that sound good, it is enjoyable to listen to, because they are very different to listening to a set of bookshelves or a set of floor standers. Because the floor standers and the bookshelves, they are like firing sound straight at you. They are in front of you, pointing at you. But with omnidirectionals, it's not like that. Because they're firing up in the air, you're kind of listening to the sound once it's been bounced off the walls or the ceiling. So they are very different to a set of floor standers or bookshelves, because they will sort of like fill the whole room with sound. Whereas the bookshelves or the floor standers, it's just sound coming at you. And the old Sonab ones that I had years ago, I used to use them quite a lot for a bit of gaming and watching movies. They was really good for that. Just put them on a 2-channel amplifier, plug your TV into them, and I used to use them when I was playing on the console or watching movies and that. Now, they're not like a surround sound AV, because you are not getting all the different sounds from all the different places. But I did used to enjoy using them more in that situation than a set of bookshelves or floor standers, just 'cause the way that they filled the whole room with sounds. So yeah, I used to really like them for that. And I used to use my old Sonabs more for that than I did for listening to music. So if I can get these old Luxors working, I will definitely be trying them out for a bit of that and see what they sound like. So if you're watching this, if you know about these Luxors, if you've got any information about them, can you let me know please? Because I know nothing about these. So I don't even really know what power these are. I don't know what year these are from, and I don't even really know if these speakers are going to be any good or not. So if you know about these Luxors, if it's something that you have had dealings with, can you let me know all about them and what you thought of them, please? The only thing I do really know is I was really happy to have found these on Saturday, and 'cause I didn't pay a lot for them, I do think I've got quite a rare set of speakers for a nice little bargain price. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.